352-401-6917.
Looking for an affordable way to attend your dream university? Start at the College of Central Florida, then finish up your degree at another university. Higher Education Happenings program Wednesday, July 7th at 9:35 a.m. features Dr. Alan Denoff, Associate Vice President of Arts and Science, and Dr. Raffle Robinson, Director of Admissions and Student Recruitment. That's July 7th at 9:35 a.m. Presented by the College of Central Florida and WOCA, The Source.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala.
Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well.
Now, here's your host, Tom.
It's time for
your hearing pleasure, Dumb Crook News.
That's right, it's Dumb Crook News. Joe Martone usually joins us. He's unavoidably detained. So once again, I've just made my fiance stay longer. So Susan Kieran's here to interact with Dumb Crook News. This story is in New Jersey, Bayonne, New Jersey. Suspect walked into a Bayonne, New Jersey bank and handed the teller a note demanding all the money. The teller read the note. He snatched it back from her. "I've changed my mind," he said. "I'd rather open a bank account instead." Customer service rep met with him in another area. Suspect didn't have any ID, needed to open an account. As the man was meeting with yet another employee, the teller told the customer service rep about the note. The employee confronted the suspect and escorted him out of the building. By the time the police and bank security were alerted the incident, he was gone. Why would you escort him out of the building? You have the note that says he wanted to rob the bank. He's sitting in your chair wanting to open a bank account. Why not just let him sit in that chair, none the wiser, until the police and the bank security get there?
I would imagine because they weren't sure if he had a weapon or not. So it's for their employees' security.
But he's not doing anything dangerous. Keep placating him by opening the account till the police get there.
You could have done that, but you gotta have the safety first.
And what happened? Did his conscience all of a sudden go, "Ooh, I'm doing something screwed up here. Maybe I'll just open a bank account instead"?
why
Or was he going to steal all the money and then put it in the bank account he opened?
No, it's a weird switch. Open it, like, why snatch it back and like run out the door if you changed your mind?
Yeah, snatch it out and take off. You don't snatch it back and go, "I've changed my mind. I'd like to open a bank account."
Unless there was some weird joke he was trying to, that just, you shouldn't do that at a bank. You shouldn't do it.
You don't yell fire in a theater. You don't say bomb on an airplane. You don't give fake notes at a bank. You just don't. It's kind of like the guy. Remember the guy that tried to light his shoe on fire in the airport because in the airplane because he said he had plastic explosives in his shoes, but it didn't happen. It didn't work. It's kind of what this guy is. I wanted to rob a bank, but I realized it wasn't going to work, so I decided I'll open an account instead. And did he have the $50 available to open the account? Because if he did, what the hell was he robbing the bank in the first place for? Inquiring minds want to know. Bayonne, New Jersey. Authorities say a man in Colorado court violated his bond, who was in court for violating his bond on a drug charge, is even in more trouble now. The Vail Daily reported Wednesday that 43-year-old Juan Jose Bribabesca was standing next to two other defendants at the Eagle County District Court podium when he took his hat off because the judge told him, "Take your hat off in my courtroom." He was there for a violation of probation on a drug charge. As he takes his hat off, right there in open court, a gram baggie of cocaine falls out onto the floor of the courtroom. this smart guy who's in court for violating his probation on a drug charge
Brings
his drugs with him. Well, you think you're going to get toot up one more time before they take you to jail? And as he takes it, did you forget it was in your hat? As he's taking his hat off, the drugs fall onto the floor. Police officer watched the bag filled with cocaine fall to the floor, and after reviewing surveillance footage, they determined it fell from his hat. Briscoe was then walked to the county jail and now faces new charges of narcotics possession, another bond violation. Booking documents don't indicate whether he hired an attorney or not. But by the way, you ready for this? He's in the country illegally.
Oh, shocker.
So a man who was facing a bond revocation on drug charges brings more drugs into the courtroom. And by the way, he's here illegally. And yeah, it's safe at the border. A drug addict with drugs on him in court who's here illegally. Mm-hmm. So his legal woes are not over.
No.
Now, as a person who has had a history of cocaine, I will be honest with you, I've done really dumb things in my life where cocaine were concerned. I've never taken it into an open courtroom. Never tried to take it to jail with me. You know, sometimes you got to be smarter. That's not mine. You can't prove it. It came out of your hat. There it is on surveillance. You must put that in my hat. It's real smart there, pal. Authorities visited a North Carolina home this week after receiving a tip about a crime. But the crime they went for wasn't the one resident Cody Young was arrested for. After tipping the police last week, possibly related to a cockfighting operation. That's per the Charlotte Observer. An officer knocked on the door of Zhang's home near Claremont on Tuesday. Catawba County Sheriff, Catawba County, that's not very far from Watauga County where I lived. Catawba's got a great football program. They have a college there, Catawba College, great football program.
Okay, great. Go back to
Catawba County Sheriff Coy Reed tells CBS News, whatever the officer was looking for, Reed says it wasn't what he soon found. Zhang opened the door, saw the officer, and simply said, I guess you're here about the opium. When he opened it, saw the cops, he's like, well, get jigs up. I guess they're here for the opium. Cop goes, we're here to look at cockfighting. Oh, well, never mind what I said. Well, no, then it was too late. It was they discovered poppy plants spread across an acre of land behind Zhang's home. The 2,000 plants, which can be used to make heroin and opium, are believed to be worth about $500 million. That's billion with a B. $500 million.
Wow.
It's unbelievable, Reed said. He adds, after an hour of pulling plants, officer had not made a dent in the crop. He said it's very intimidating. I was overwhelmed, just like the rest of the investigators, when we came out here today. We weren't expecting anything this size. Officials believe the plants, once harvested, were moved to another location to make into opium. Zhang has been charged with manufacturing and trafficking by possession. Some 80 chickens were also confiscated from his home during the illegal cockfighting investigation. I mean, Catawba County Police, open up. Sir, we're here about the opium. That's what you're here about, right? Yes, that's what we're here about. I mean, they were going to find the plants because they were planted behind his house, and they were going to search the house and the grounds because of cockfighting. So at least he voluntarily said, hear about the opium, huh? No, we're not. We're here about the chickens.
I wonder if they fed the plant to the chickens to make the cockfighting more exciting.
Well, I like a good poppy seed bagel. Maybe chickens like poppy seed. I don't know.
I don't know.
I like a good poppy seed bagel. You like poppy seed bagels?
No.
You don't? You probably are more onion bagel type.
I was just plain.
You like plain bagel with the cream cheese on it?
Yeah, I do.
It's boring. But I'm a big English muffin person.
I have enough excitement in my life just living
Dealing
with
with
you.
yeah,
So I can
and worrying about whether the cops ever go, Catawba County cops, and I opened the door and go, you hear about the opium, right? There was a time in my life when in Watauga County, where if they had knocked on my door, I go, what are you here for? Well, we're here to talk to you about pot plants up on top of the mountain. They're not mine.
They're not mine.
On my property, but they're not mine. Although now in North Carolina, it's perfectly legal to grow 10 plants or less. So it is perfectly, not in Florida, though. You can't do that in Florida. But it is legal in North Carolina to grow 10 plants or less. For those of you who are of the marijuana medical persuasion. You know. Brilliant thieves. This comes all the way from Australia.
Nice.
No, not so much.
No.
Once you hear. Thieves wanted to steal gas from tour buses. You know, so they go and they got their little siphon and hose and they put it down in the gas fuel. They want to get the diesel gas out of there, you know, diesel fuel out there, trying to steal gas. They turned themselves in when they went to the hospital. You would think for diesel ingestion. They probably ingested too much diesel, got sick. No. These smart crooks in Australia didn't know the fuel tank line from the sewage line of these tour buses.
Oh, gosh.
And they were siphoning out the sewage out of the sewage compartment on the tour buses.
I could have went my entire life without knowing this.
These morons didn't do enough research to find out that the fuel tanks and their access were on the opposite side of the bus they were on. They shoved the hose down the sewer line and got afraid that they may have ingested poison that way through doing raw sewage into their body.
Oh, that's...
You know, that's the kind of guys, you don't even put them in jail. You go, look, that's punishment enough. Don't do it again. You know, go home. We're going to put your picture on TV, say, hey, it's the sewage thieves, and you're going to be embarrassed, and you just go home.
Yeah.
You don't even waste money prosecuting those guys.
Just
You're good.
have a nice day.
You're good. If you're so dumb that you ingested sewage thinking you were stealing gas, you go ahead. You're good. I have a feeling, though, that, you know, that just, once again, maybe it was out of work, minute work members from the band because they hadn't had a hit song in like 40 years, 50 years. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know, looking for a Vegemite sandwich or something. I don't know. Or the remnants of a Vegemite sandwich.
Oh, really?
Oh, there's
The
all kind of poop.
remnants?
There's all kind of poop jokes I can
All
go
right,
with
let's
now.
go to the next story.
No, we're gonna have to take a break.
Oh, okay. Let's take a break.
Take a break. Coming up next, it's Dumb Crook News, Florida style.
Woo.
You know I didn't forget about Florida. We'll talk about that next. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA. The Source.
Everybody's looking for BOGOs these days, and Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala has them. Buy one, get one free deals all over the store. Dozens and dozens of beautiful hanging baskets. Buy one, get one free.